wrestling Titantrons are a very important thing, right? You look at Gregory Helms, yeah? Why was he the biggest star in the history of wrestling? Because he was presented like the biggest star in the history of wrestling. And one example of this would be his Titantron. Here it is now. Sunglasses and his name. And then it cuts to him wearing sunglasses. Then we're back to his name. And now we're back to him. And then we're back to his name. Then we're again back to Gregory Helms tilting his head to the right. Then back to his name. This is how stars are created, through strong presentation. We look at David Flair, another example, another massive name, using shots of his dad looking mildly disappointed. Nothing screams star more than this. But now I want to be the star. So we're going to go on Fiverr, and we're going to get ourselves a nice little Titantron. However, there's one slight problem. I'm not a wrestler. You see, being a wrestler requires you to do physical exercise and talk to people sometimes, so I never actually want to be one. I just want people to think I'm cool and jacked. So when we're sending the footage over to our video editor, we're going to have to try and find the right images and the right video clips that'll help us look like a star despite never actually wrestling. And already, I have found the perfect idea. Wrestling photo shoots. Wrestling photo shoots are another thing designed to present a wrestler as a star. Now obviously nobody's taking pictures of us, but if we root into the archives, we can take a picture from so long ago that nobody remembers it was ever taken in the first place, and that way we can just pretend that it's us and nobody will question it. But what picture do we choose though? Perfect! I honestly could not think of a better image to use than this young stud from FCW. Even better, this young stud from FCW, but with a jacket. A nice cool jacket. Here's a third one that I found as well. It's all really good stuff, but I'm sure there's more really cool, tough-looking photo shoots we can use from that era if we just look a little bit deeper. Perfect! Who is this man? I'm going to be honest with you, right? I've seen this image before, but it really does leave me with a lot more questions than answers, right? And I've managed to do a bit of research on this, and apparently his name is Buck Dixon, and he's wrestled a whopping total of 6 matches. In those 6 matches, he's teamed with Bray Wyatt, Tyler Breeze, and Chimera? Better known as Ricardo Rodriguez. He has a win over current WWE Champion Big E, current Universal Champion Roman Reigns, and even Andy Levine off the 5th season of Tough Enough, if you remember that. The man has done it all. In his final ever match, he teamed with Eric Rowan and won. The only footage I can find of this man's entire career is one handheld recording from a ringside fan where you can just about make out which pixel is him. But I'm not surprised he left after 6 matches. Pro wrestling, right? He fucking completed it. Completed it, mate. What more was there left for this man to achieve after just 6 matches? But despite knowing all this and despite having all these answers, I still have so much more questions. Why was this picture taken? Like, what is the point of this image? What emotion is he trying to convey? Who designed his gear? His fucking barber has a busier job than that lad. How am I meant to feel viewing this image? That's what I don't understand. Is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? Is he a powerhouse? Are there any other images of Buck Dixon besides this one image? Okay, he looks happier in this one, I suppose. The tribal chief, the head of the table. This look is a lot cooler if you ask me. Oozes charisma, oozes confidence, oozes not being allowed within 100 feet of your local primary school. This is the look for Roman Reigns. But is this the look for us? We now have 3 wrestlers with 3 really cool photo shoots that we can send to the editor and put in our Titantron. But which one of these do we go with? A, B, or C? That's right, D. All of them. We're going to send all of these images to the video editor with absolutely zero context, and we're going to see what he makes of it. While on the topic of Roman Reigns, I feel like it'd be cool to include a modern day image of him. One that's more up to date. Now, I know what you might be thinking, will people not just see the Titantron then and say, hey, that's not Corporate Keane, that's the big dog Roman Reigns. But hear me out. Remove his beard. And now it could be anyone. Could be me, could be whoever, could be... Well, we're gonna send it to the editor, right? We're gonna send that image to the editor alongside a similar picture of Seth Rollins. Finally, in terms of images, I'd like to include this image here. The sheer awkwardness that radiates off it is something I've always admired from an artistic perspective. A lot of people assume that this was just a lad waiting at 5 in the morning to pounce on the wrestlers at the airport, but I don't know. I'd like to think that he just bumped into them between flights and then excitedly asked his favourite wrestler for a picture without realising it until it was too late that she actually wanted nothing to do with this interaction. Again, I don't really know how I'm meant to feel looking at this image, and I think that's the beauty of it. If we send it off to the editor for our Titantron and just throw it in there with no context, we'll see what he makes of it. But I also feel like we need to add some videos. You know, videos are important. Something that reflects our hard-hitting nature, something that makes me look like I'm not afraid of a bit of strong style or even a bit of deathmatch wrestling. Perfect. Maybe some more backyard wrestling wouldn't go amiss, actually. Perhaps, you know, an angle rather than a match to showcase my versatility and charisma and things like that.
Man, I'm sorry I couldn't make the funeral. Shit sucks. Oh shit! An alien! What the?
Again, perfect. I really do think we are providing this Titantron maker with an absolute goldmine of content to make us look like a star by the end of this. Finally, I've decided to create myself virtually in WWE 2K20 and create more videos where we look cool so he can stick it into his Titantron. And here is our first example, Brock Lesnar handing me the WWE Championship because he thinks I'm cool, and bam! I just hit him straight away and show him who the boss is. You know what I mean? That's very realistic and again also makes me look very cool and very jacked. Then there's another one here of Roman Reigns being stretchered out of the arena with me in the ring, the implication being that I am the man, of course, who put him on the stretcher. And then, of course, I beat him up and knock him off his stretcher, which, again, makes me look very tough and very cool. Then, me and Eric Rowan beat up the Usos, and again, this is not just about looking tough, but this is now looking like I have friends, and I'm also very popular. So, this is a good video to add in as well. There is COVID-19 in another video, looking tough, acting the big man up in the wrestling ring because he killed a load of people. Then the lights go off, and when they come back on, there's me, and I scare the shit out of COVID-19, and he runs out of the ring, and the pandemic's over. Proper babyface move. This is actually my favourite one here, right? As you can see, I'm lifting the championship above my head triumphantly in victory. In the background, you see my opponent Dipsy hanging his head in shame, implying that I have beaten him in a fight. And then his mates show up. Poe, Dipsy, Lala, they look like they're here and they mean business, but I'm not scared, I'm not backing down. I'll take out all the Teletubbies if I have to, just to prove that I'm the best and that I mean business. Along with these videos, I do also have an entrance that I made, but I'm going to save that for I'll show you that if it's included in the overall Titantron, which hopefully it will be. And yeah, now we just need to find somebody who will make this absolute masterpiece come true. I will do YouTube video editing. Perfect. He says he'd love to work with us on this project. We'll see how true that is once I actually send him the raw materials that I want him to work with. Now all we have to do is sit back, relax, and wait for this absolute masterpiece of a Titantron to be created. And hopefully when it's all said and done, we will have a video that makes us look like a star. Okay, here it is, already looking fairly promising. Let's just hit play and see what happens. The awkward the awkward cut to the fan at the airport.
Man, I'm sorry I couldn't make the funeral. Shit sucks. Oh shit!
Those were really cool effects that he added there, I have to say. I'm a big fan of that. This is the entrance I was referring to earlier, by the way. Delighted he managed to include it. It's obviously myself and Big Red. I love the fact that we're holding hands despite our hands being completely different sizes, so we instead decided to just do that. And I am loving the music here. Very David Flair-esque, I have to say. Overall, I'm very happy with how this Titantron is turning out. It's making me look like an absolute star. He did kind of rush through the pictures, which is a little bit disappointing. He also didn't put my name up on screen in flashing text, so I don't really know how anybody's meant to know who I am. There was also no sunglasses under my name like Gregory Helms, therefore I probably won't be as big a star as I was kind of hoping to be. But this is making me look very cool and very tough, and I have to say I'm very happy with it. Really strong out of context ending there. I have to say. How do I rate the overall quality of this delivery? Perfect. How closely did this delivery meet your expectations? Completely fucking blew me away. And was this delivery useful to your needs? Yes, absolutely. So overall, I am quite happy, but it's just that, like, I just can't get Buck Dixon out of my head.